Hey there, beautiful family of Ascension Pioneers. How are you? Well, this video is totally about all the energy changes, about all the light activations happening lately, which is many, increasingly, every week. But this weekend was something so intense, so amazing. Even for me, I'm always up to date with new energies, always regularly, activating new things. But what happened this weekend, it's something so intense that, I just can't describe with words. I posted a writing about this on Facebook. I'm sharing it below as well. Do check that out, the description box. And it has to do with this weekend, which was in full representation of the new moon in Taurus. And as you know, new moons kind of bring us this void of cleansing, purging, burning the old, which is what we're doing now. And with that, during the next few days following, when we can also do our new manifestation, they're opening up, our beings to new ways, to new expanded states of being and to experiencing a reality. As you know, every challenge that we might encounter upon in this intense activation states only opens up the parts of us that might have been more dormant, more hidden to us, So when we might be resistant to challenges at first, later we always see that it was a hidden blessing in disguise and that, it opens us up to new levels that might have been non-recognizable by us before, prior to challenge. That's why these challenges are necessary. And as much as we might, resist them in the beginning, when we go through the challenge, we see that this was necessary because we opened up to new levels of being. We opened up to new perspectives and we were anchoring new divine attributes that already are within us. But the challenge triggers that us. So many things were triggered this weekend, I bet, within all of you. But I can only share through my own experience. And I know this is happening globally now. Here, this weekend, it was in all the levels, also the weather, I could just feel it. When I went to bed on Saturday, because on Saturday I had a major cleansing day, the moon here was in the morning, I think 9 a.m. in the morning, it was the new moon. And, I just woke up to this morning of, I just needed some things that were really old, some dark energies that were in my reality. They came through some certain people in my life. They just needed to go away. So I was flushing a lot of that away, and we always flush in those toxins that are not just physical toxins, but all the toxins that are non-authentic to our being. So everything that isn't authentic is leaving our body. So when we feel that void space, that's always when something is leaving so that it can make room for something new. And for me, that was on Saturday. I was so tired, and I went out for a walk with my mom. She could barely walk, because she was sick. She never, has problems with, feeling sick in the stomach. But she felt sick all along. And when we came home, she needed to go to the toilet to just throw up. And I look at her and I was telling her before, I said, this is nothing to do with food, because most humans still think, I ate something bad. We can't because we're vegans and we eat healthy food and everything. And she said it herself. She said, oh yeah, these energies, it must be because of that. Because she didn't throw up for years. And neither do I. I don't have that syndrome. So I was experiencing something like she did, but, minus the vomit. And my legs were so weak, those times when you're ill, but not ill at all, just this feeling that something is really coming in my body, something really, wow, intense, So when I went to bed, I had to go very early because I was so tired. And I was so happy because I never go to bed early, and I went at 10 p.m. And I was so happy. I said, yay, finally I go to bed early. I just could sleep the entire night, I just kept tossing and turning. I had cramps in my legs because I felt hot, and I just got up at midnight. I was envisioning the refrigerator constantly, I never have that. I just had to go. I had to eat in the middle of the night. I just had to eat. Then I went back to bed and I was tossing and turning again the entire night. And what happened when I finally got to my rest, when I finally fell asleep for a while, I experienced another beautiful light activation, which is something I made videos about previously. And these I consciously know of ever since the 2010. The 10th of 10th was my first one that I remember consciously. And they were different every single time. But it's always the same, I always see this light that just comes in my being. This time it was violet light, pure violet light, like it's coming, from your third eye, and you see it with your mental eye, you see it. And you just feel like these rays, they're just washing over you. And it's nothing that you can describe here in physical terms. It's undescribable. It's an unearthly experience. And at the same time, when you lie, I can never move. So this freaks me out a bit, at the beginning, because I can't move. I just feel that being done to me. I mean, it's not like I'm a victim. It's kind of like a light surgery, so to say. But at the same time, I get these loud vibrations in my ears, not just the ears, the entire being, but you feel like they're, downloading into your being. And every single activation that I had, they were kind of monthly or in month and a half periods, and they're becoming more frequent. And whenever I have them, I kind of get scared of the sound because it's so intense. It's not an earthly kind of sound. It's a vibration that it's very intense, very kind of ringing, but not people who describe they have ringing in their ears. It's something different. We all have ringing in our ears when we're downloading something or tuning to new frequencies, but it has to do something with really like say light surgery, sound surgery, things like that. There are beings within the law of one who are working with our energetic bodies. So the next day when I was awakened, the purging was, I felt better psychologically, emotionally. But physically, I just couldn't do anything. I just posted a status on Facebook and I went back to bed. And I had pinching pain like here in my, what's this part that's called, it's kind of below, not below, above the belly region, like a spleen. I don't know what's it called in English. But it was a pinching pain. And I remember that I had this pain like 2 years ago when I, began these activations. And I remember that every single time we have these intense light activations, because they are very intense, you have to imagine your body seriously undergoes, it's like a surgery. When you would experience a physical surgery here in the body, you would need rest. The doctor would prescribe you like 1 week, 2 weeks, I don't know, a month of rest. It depends on the heaviness of the surgery, of the procedure. And here it's the same, except you can't see it because you can't see your energetic bodies, and what's being done to them. You just feel this change. You feel, because before going to bed, I was watching a movie. I rarely do that, but I wanted to have a day just for myself on Saturday. So I was watching a movie and my hands, without just doing, I was just sitting there. They were buzzing, again, I had this electric tingles in my hands, but they were like flowing through, from somewhere through my hands and just descending into in all of my body. It was very intense. And I said, wow, whenever I have this, I know that new energies are kind of dropping into our bodies. And I just knew. And the next day on Sunday, the weather here changed so much. And I knew because I couldn't sleep the entire night. So I knew that this is because of the heavy energies. And the weather changed. There were such immense winds and storm, the thunder. And I said, wow, this is so intense. So many things went, out of me, things that were inauthentic. And then new light was anchoring, especially, the violet ray, the ray of purification and transmutation, all the purging. And next day, I was really happy because of the pain. Because I knew what it was about. I knew that this has to do with body alignments, because every single time we undergo such changes, our bodies might have physical symptoms. And I've described this in my previous video, how to recognize these are symptoms, not ordinary pain that would associate with a certain illness, is because these symptoms only last, for a few moments or a day or two. They're momentary, they're not permanent, but the change that they bring with is very permanent. It's very beautiful and amazing. And I got another confirmation because I just came to check Facebook yesterday just for a while before going back to bed and rest. And I saw the update from a beautiful sister of light, and she explained the same thing, only she had this a few days prior, like 2 days before. And she said that the highest masters of light were working, and she was, awakened in the middle of the night, and she saw these masters working with her energy body, working with their bodies that are changing and shifting into the crystalline matrix, into the crystalline nature in our highest aspect. So she described this and her own experience, and she said after that she had a vision, and it was so beautiful. It has to do with the whole different reality, whole new reality and paradigm, and the healing of the whole planet. And it made me just smile, like sunshine. I felt so amazing afterwards because I didn't even check Facebook. I rarely check messages from others, but that was the first thing I saw, and I knew there was a confirmation for me as to what is going on. I posted about this today, and many people responded as well, that they have been experiencing certain symptoms on their own. And I talked to, who else? Yeah, I think many people now experience this or see or feel violet. I feel there's immense purging going on the planet right now. Many people in the mainstream YouTube kind of spiritual video areas, they are posting about changes that are happening in May. Some are even posting about the solar poles changing, the poles of the sun, like they're becoming quadrupolous or something like that. And we have to observe what is going on, locally in our own bodies and externally in the grander picture, because then we can associate. We can associate that we are changing just the same as our sun is changing. The earth is changing just the same as the sun is changing. Because in this local planetary system, things are connected. And also in this local universe, things are connected. So when we become aware and understanding of our own microcosm, we can see the macrocosm, how it is unfolding. And we won't see everything as we're being always told by certain people who will only talk about the disastrous kind of aspect, because it's not that. It's just falling away of the old, because it has to give birth to the new. We have to really remember that we are organic beings, and we need to reconnect back to that natural, authentic state, and it is time now. What will also be happening, and is happening already during these intense times that keep unfolding ever since the 11/11/11 last year, is that many people are being very triggered in their responses, how their mind still works in the old. For instance, if, let me give you my example. I get asked a lot of things by people when I post things or when I talk about things, and they sometimes ask me questions that they should really ask themselves. Their own soul, their own inner, journey, their own inner being. And when they ask me something like that, I will feel it. I will feel when the question is coming from the heart, and I will reply to that, because I do feel vibration behind the words that are, it's not about the words, but I feel vibration because I have these senses. Every single light activation activates my new levels, my new abilities that are, authentic to my being. It's my natural state. So when I will be asked a question that is very much from the mind, that will, a certain person will seek my attention or my answer, from the ego, like, give me this confirmation, give me this knowing, I will feel it and I won't reply. I will just say, you need to ask your own soul, console with your own spirit. You have all that within you, So when I replied something like that yesterday, I was immediately blocked on Facebook, and I was told that I share fake love, and that love is, needing to reply to everyone. And I'm like, no, it's not that. Love is truth. Love is speaking the truth. And when I feel certain people who become very ego triggered right now, because remember, don't judge anyone. It's what's happening within them, because the energies are so strong. And, sometimes the worst is triggered, from people that have been hitting and repressing that for so long now. And we have to be beacons of light, not judging others. But we need to understand where their behavior might be coming from. Because through understanding ourselves, we can understand the self of another. So let us not judge one another. We are still all one. Let us not be demanding of each other. Let us not, poke each other in demanding kind of ways, because this is not conditional love. We are supposed to move in the realms of unconditional love, non-judgment, pure respect for another, cherish one another. And we need to stop with this foolishness, that is so present in all these communities, even the New Age, and, not just the different religions. Because many people will be triggered right now when someone will not give them the desired response, or will not give them the answers, because they need to learn to truly find these answers within them. And it's going to happen now. It's going to happen everywhere. So I'm saying these words to you now because it will happen to all of you. You will all, you as bearers of light, you will all encounter situations like that. You will all see people like that. You will all experience responses like that. For instance, I see Facebook. I see Sisters of Light posting, oh, I just keep being deleted on Facebook. What's happening? People are really, some are going literally very much in the old. But it doesn't mean that this will be a persistent kind of thing. For some, it just might be a phase, to go back to the old before you truly start seeing clearly without the veils and truly realizing what love is through feeling it. Love is not nothing. It has nothing to do with demands. Give me an answer or you're not within love. That's not love. That is demanding. That is conditional love. So if you experience situations like that, have people like that in your presence, be aware. Be aware that you as bearer of light have to be the conscious one, have to be the one that remains within the truth of love. Don't give them power. Don't give anyone power. There were also in my journey a lot of people who were within darkness as well, like who came in my life. And this was like a pact that we have, I guess, with one another, because everything is always an agreement on a soul level, although we might not always remember here as humans, but I often do. I often remember this because when you remember, you see it from a higher angelic perspective. And the issue and the challenge will be seen to you through the eyes of purity. And those who don't will be stubborn, will be in ego, will keep seeing the old and will think that they're right. But there is no such thing as right. Souls are in different states of evolution. They choose differently according to their free will of how they want to experience things. And this is all it's about. So there is no, I choose the right way, you don't. We need to stop being foolish and play this game. The energies are here present for everyone, and whoever is not going to use them right now, because we have such an amazing opportunity right now from the host of All Light. And those who don't, they're on the right journey as well, because everyone is, no one needs to save anyone. As I keep saying in my videos, we're all divine beings, no matter what kind of path we choose right here now. And all these realities that we coexist in are happening simultaneously anyway. So we can leap jump into any kind of multidimensional, clothing of ours anyway. But our predominant reality is what most believe in, what most, create and fuel, their energy with. So what do we want the most to be? The energies are here present for us. What would we want our predominant energy field to be? For me, I choose truth of one. I choose divine love, which is the essence of all creation. I choose respect. I choose to honor this creation and the beauty of it every day. Yesterday was Earth's Day, and there are many such days, and holidays, and we, as people, we cherish something on that day. But I wish that to be every day. I wish for everyone to cherish the divine spark within them every day, because every day is a gift from from the divine to us. And just when we can see this inside of ourselves, inside our own spark, then we can cherish all creation, because it's not other way around. You don't cherish Mother Earth if you don't cherish yourself. And all is interconnected. That's why this is so I choose this. I choose us honoring and respecting one another and the planet and the entire solar system and the local universe and all the creation within all that is. Always, every second, in deeds, not just in words, in action. It's easy to say, oh, the planet is so beautiful. It's more challenging to do deeds that will keep showing your purity and devotion to this living life that you are being given as a gift from your soul that chose to incarnate here now. So this is what I choose. I hope as many are choosing the same. The energies are very intense. They're causing a lot of the changes, major breakthroughs for many. I think this week, it started a bit with the void. I think some astrologers said that this has to do with the moon void. I'm not an astrologer myself, so I don't know exactly. But we can feel it, it's always like that. When a certain thing is cleansing from your energy field, what we're doing, we're debunking, throwing away everything that is not authentic. That's what we're doing. That's why if you don't resonate with something, you're debunking it. You're like washing it away. And some people who are still within that sorts of illusion that love would never do that. Love would never, burn things away. Love would accept everything. It's not true. because love is knowing your own energetic field to connect to all. So of course, naturally, what no longer vibrates and resonates with your frequency, that has the power to overshadow it, for instance, with its darkness, when you choose the light, it is only natural for you to cleanse off of it. And there's no needed guilt for that. There are many those who claim to be only in the light, but light can be blinding sometimes. We need to become neutral. And in neutrality, you will get to feel your essence. And when you feel your essence, you will also feel what is not your essence. And it will slowly keep fading away because it needs to go on its own space and time sorts of point of origin in its own vibrational field. If you will retain something of another, you will just, prevent the experience that it needs to experience on their own. So what we're doing now, we're purging ourselves from all the lower, all the old, energetic parts that we have, for instance, exchanged with some people that are still within us and some parts of us still within them. It's time now to really return to our authentic self. This is the basic energetic changes that are happening now. And the violet flame has never been stronger on this planet. Many call this Saint Germain's New Age, like he's the leader of the new Aquarian age, and he is the master of violet fire, the violet flame. So I hope this message helped someone. I hope it helped to shed some light on what is happening energetically now and why you shouldn't feel any guilt if someone else that does not have this understanding yet will try to convince you, into feeling guilty, why you are throwing away things that no longer resonate. Don't feel guilty about that. You have the right to claim your own vibration, have the right to claim your own energetic space of who you are. And only then you can be connected to all that is, because they need to be in their own vibration. They need to be in their own realm of experiencing. That's what's happening now. Okay, guys, I hope you have a beautiful start of the week. The void has to be there in order to start giving birth to something new. And the first May holidays are here quickly. So I hope you all have in this time, that is now being time of new manifestations, that you manifest something wonderful for yourself. And I'll talk to you through some other videos very soon. Bye.